When we say TDS and TSS, TDS is dissolved substances in water, while the TSS is particles that floating in the water. Yung TDS, ito yung mga salts and minerals sa tubig na hindi natin nakikita. And then yung TSS naman is ito yung mga lumulutang na nagkukos para lumabo yung tubig, tulad ng mga putik at yung mga lumot. Next is optimal pH. So when we say optimal pH, in fresh water, fish needs 6.5 to 8.5, while in the marine, fish prefers 7.8 to 8.5. Like tilapia, mas okay sa kanila yung pH na 7 to 8, pero yung mga isda sa dagat, mas gusto yun nila yung mas mataas ang pH. Next is the gas bubble disease. So when we say gas bubble disease, it means that fish get bubbles inside their bodies when water has too much dissolved gas. Nagkakaroon sila ng palto sa katawan kapag sobra yung gas sa tubig. And the next is calciums and anions. These are the basic minerals found in water that affect the water quality. Like yung mga calcium and magnesium, mga natural minerals sa tubig na kailangan ng isda. Next is the alkalinity versus the hardness. Alkalinity controls pH changes, while the hardness, it is about the calcium and magnesium levels. Sa alkalinity, nag-stabilize siya ng pH, and sa hardness, ito naman yung para sa mga buto at shell ng mga isda, or for example, pag nagmumulta mga hipon. pH 9.0 actions. So, reduce afternoon pH by limiting photosynthesis. Kapag sobrang taas ang pH, nagdadagdag ng tubig para bumaba yung alkalinity. Next is the liming acidic soil. So, liming reduce acidity and stabilize pH. So, yung nagpan prep kami, dapat daw maglagay ng apog para hindi maging acidic yung lupa at gumanda yung kulay niya at maganda din yung quality ng tubig. Low DO correction. So, increase oxygen and reduce stress. So, kapag mababa kasi ang DO sa madaling araw, dapat paanda rin yung aerator. Brown blood disease, ano naman ito? Ito naman yung sa kapag nagkakaroon ng brown blood disease, we need to check the nitrite. And then, add salt and increase aeration. Namumula kasi yung mga hipon kapag ganun. Kaya dapat i-check natin yung nitrite at magdagdag tayo ng salt, or we need to do a salt bath. Second issues, ito naman yung when a cloudy water, reduce feed kapag sobrang linis. Or kung pag sobrang linis naman, we need to add fertilizer. For example, kapag 20 cm lang ang kita, sobrang labnaw. So we need to less feed or to reduce feed. Kapag sobrang linaw naman, we need to add fertilizer. Pero konti lang naman. Organic matter or the hydrogen sulfide. So, rotting waste in the oxygen creates toxic gas that can kill fish. May mga pag kayong parang amoy itlog na siya, or yung bulok pag madaming dumi na sa ilalim. Yun nga, parang yun yung bulok na siya. So, kailangan na nating magpalit ng tubig or linisin yung tanks para maiwasan yung pagkamatay ng mga isda. Next is salinity and bad temperature. So, fish gets more stress when salinity changes at the same time. Temperature is not ideal. So, kapag malamig, kapag bigla nagbago ang alat ng tubig, hirap agad yung mga isda. Hirap silang mag-adjust, lalo na yung mga bangus. And aeration versus water change. Meaning, aeration is cheaper and cheap, but water change is costly but it removes waste. Mas matipid ang aerator kaysa nagpump ng. And then the monitoring plan, of course, we need to check the important water parameters regularly to avoid problem. So kapag araw-araw na yung DO at TEP, linggo-linggo naman ang ammonia test, and buwan-buwan naman ang hardness test. Biofiltration versus water exchange. So biofiltration is more sustainable because it removes ammonia without wasting water. And biofilter naman, nakakatipid sa tubig at hindi kailangan magpalit-palit ng tubig. Next is the sustainability in pond management. So, many farm focus on production but environmental, it must improve. So, mas maraming farm ang mataas ang production pero hindi nililinis yung ilalim kaya napupuno ng dumi.